Hi, Jonathan here. Happy holidays. Today we're going to talk about what is FKM, Fluoroelastomer, or we call it FPM, FEPM, Fluoroelastomer, Viton, Technoflon, Dai-El, Dyneon. And what is the type to use? A type, GLT type, ETP type, Super Viton, or something. This is one of the most frequent asked questions we have seen from time to time, and it's one of my favorite topics as well. So let's get started. First of all, we should narrow down the scope. We are only going to talk about fluorocarbon elastomer today. However, there are other variations of fluoroelastomer such as fluorinated polyphosphine elastomer or fluorosilicone. We are not going to talk them today. So let's start with the naming. How to call it correctly. FKM is the ASTM designation of fluoroelastomer. F stands for fluoro, K means Kunststoff, carbon in German, and M is the designation of saturated backbone rubber from ASTM. However, you might have heard of FPM. It is the call-out from international standard DIN ISO standard. The next common jargon in the industry is their trademark. Of course, the infamous Viton has nothing to do with the fashion brand Viton. Viton is the registered trademark of DuPont since the invention of FKM in 1958. In 2016, DuPont spun off many business units such as Viton, titanium dioxide product, most of a fluoro product like PFA, Teflon, Krytox, and some other chemical to form a new company called Chemours. Leave a comment below if you'd like to hear more in-depth story about this business strategy. There are many other fluoroelastomer makers in the world besides the inventor DuPont, such as 3M. Yes, 3M produced FKM traded as Dyneon, whereas our Team Japan Daikin Chemicals produced Dai-El, and Team Italy Solvay Specialty Polymer produced Technoflon FKM. These are the four big boys in the rubber sealing industry. There are many independent FKM producers in the world as well. Here is a quick table. You can hit pause the video to look at it. I will use FKM to represent fluoroelastomer in the following videos to be precise on the description. FKM enhances sealing reliability, safety, and saves a lot of material leakage in various industries. With high temperature tolerance of over 200 degrees Celsius, FKM is widely used in many industries such as automotive, semiconductor manufacturing, air transportation, chemical processing industry, and power generation such as nuclear plant. Market research indicates that worldwide production of fluorocarbon elastomer was about 22,000 metric tons in 2012. However, the total consumption of the three major FKM makers is forecasted to grow at an average annual rate of 4% through 2018. Fluoroelastomer has extraordinary resistance to most of fluid at high temperatures and are replacing other traditional elastomer in application where it is necessary to improve sealing performance. That being said, I'm going to share a personal story in which FKM did not work when FKM meets ketone. I never told my advisor this story, and I hope he will never find out. When I was a graduate student, I worked on an atomic force microscopy, AFM. I always wipe all my petri dish microscope slide for my experiment with isopropyl alcohol and acetone to remove most of the biological residue. But one day I was going to operate a temperature control chamber for AFM sample. The bellow cover was made by Viton. I checked the spec sheet from manufacturer and it's only said Viton is great to chemical resistance. So I wiped with a sufficient amount of acetone and then... oh my goodness. The bellow lid started warping and was not be able to cover the fluid chamber anymore. I freaked out and I hid the cover from my lab mates. On the next day, when I anxiously returned to the lab to check the spello cover, something unbelievable happened. It had returned to its original shape. What a magical phenomenon. As I said, I have never mentioned this to anyone. It was not until I worked in the rubber industry that I solved my mystery. FKM absorb ketone and swell. Friends from Oxford Instrument, contact us if you need upgrade to this design. Back to the topic. We should start from the FKM's monomer. Like most of the elastomer or rubbers, FKM are polymers, which are composed of multiple monomers. There are 6 major monomers are used in FKM. Vinylidene fluoride, VDF, hexafluoropropylene, HFP, tetrafluoroethylene, TFE, perfluoromethyl ether, PMVE, ethylene, E as a representation, propylene, P as a representation. This is the quick chart to explain the type of FKM. Let's start from the basic. If you take a look at this triangle, the original development was copolymer or dipolymer of hexafluoropropylene, HFP, and vinylidene fluoride, VDF. We call it A-type in the industry. These include the Viton A, GA polymer from DuPont, and FL21XX grade from Dyneon. These fluorine-containing polymers are 65% fluorinated and form the basis of many of general-purpose fluoroelastomers. A-type was typically cured with bisphenol AF as a cross-linking agent and worked with various accelerators. It also called ionic cure. A-type has good resistance to hydrocarbon and good compression set resistance. As technology advanced, 3D monomer FKM was invented. Terpolymer FKM were developed with tetrafluoroethylene, TFE, in addition to HFP and VDF, which increased the fluorine content to 68%, providing improved fluoride resistance but inferior compression set and low temperature performance. These materials are not usually serviceable below about -10 degrees Celsius. Typical materials are Viton B, FL2320, FL2350 from Dyneon, and Technoflon T838K. Most of the curing treatment of these elastomers are based on versatile bisphenol cure system, but some TFE containing polymer are designed for free radical curing, or some people call it peroxide curing. And with continuous improvement on FKM's chemical resistance, the 4-monomer FKM was created. Tetrapolymer FKM is growing importance because of a better performance under low temperature. Tetrapolymer is made based on perfluoromethyl vinyl ether, PMVE, and replace HFP in copolymer with VDF and TFE. Incorporate with small amount of cure site monomer, CSM, is necessary to facilitate curing with peroxide curing system. The fluorinated CSM has improved the curing process and provided more stable cross-linking with increased fluorine content up to 69 or 70%. The Viton GF, Dyneon FLS 2650, extreme low temperature grades such as Viton GFLT. These grades are resistant to much wider type of chemicals and can be used with methyl as well as number of other polar solvents. If you have a genuine Apple Watch, the rubber wristband is made from these type of polymer. We'll leave the formulations per fluoroelastomer, TFEP elastomer, and AFLAS aside in a future episode. There are way too many interesting topics that I want to cover. So, the last important thing you need to know about FKM. What is it good for and not good at? FKM is well known for its high temperature resistance, as it can typically serve up to 200 and 225 degrees Celsius or 392 or 437 degrees Fahrenheit. On the other hand, intolerance to low temperature is its weakness. A standard A-type can operate around -15 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Fahrenheit, while the low temperature grade can be reached -30 degrees Celsius or -22 degrees Fahrenheit. Lastly, chemical resistance. Generally speaking, most of FKM can operate in mineral oils and grease, some phosphate ether, silicon chlorinated solvent, and air, ozone, and fuels. Specialty grade FKMs can be used in specific application that requires further validation. FKM does not work well in steam and hot water above 100 degrees Celsius. Gear lubricant with EP additive. Engine oil with amine additive. Amines, alkalis, organic acid, brake fluid, and ketones. Acetone in my case. Let's summarize what we have covered today. We talk about the basic naming, types of monomers, and the progression of few grades of FKMs, and its strengths and weakness. So, please give this video a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button to support our channel. We'll keep updating our content and make sure to click the bell icon so you won't miss any updates. Leave a comment below if you have any suggestion or questions. We are more than happy to assist you. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.